Hello, my name is Laura Rogers, and welcome to my presentation. My new business concept is a small and local cake decorating business called Cakes Cakes, where I will offer my clients a personal experience to give them a custom edible piece of art. My slogan is "For the Love of Cake," which I got from my nickname being Cake because of my hobby of cake decorating. And I wanted to include that in the title of my business to give it a more personal and unique feel. So, my personal profile, I have always been an artist, more specifically a digital artist, and for the last 10 years I have decorated cakes as a hobby. I'm currently an entertainment design student at Cogswell College, and in the past I was a co-creator and event director for the Contemporary Arts Learning and Education Conference known as FLAM, where we teach educators how to bring contemporary arts into the classroom for learning purposes. The entrepreneur that I have chosen to study for my new business concept is Oprah Winfrey. Obviously, she is very well known for being a successful CEO and chairwoman of her own network and business, and she's also been recognized for her acting in many television shows and films. But more importantly, she brings in her work as a philanthropist into everything that she does, where she pours her heart and generosity into all of her work, and that is something that I would like to include in my business. So, some basic concepts about my business are that I offer custom edible works of art for celebratory events, where I offer a custom and personal experience to all of my clients where they're actually involved in the creation of their dream cake. And one of the things that makes my business unique is that my cakes are at a reasonable price range, but they look as if you had spent much more on them. So that's a big draw into my business. Some more details about my business and how it could be successful are that my customers get that custom and personal experience, which makes them want to come back again and again for all of their celebratory events, and that will help to build me a loyal clientele base. And the cakes that I provide are not only a dessert item, but they act as a piece of art, a centerpiece for whatever event that my clients are hosting. And another plus about my business is that it is a small and local business, which means that it will boost local economy and create a more enjoyable and intimate work experience for everybody involved. Some basics about the feasibility of my business are that my cakes are custom yet affordable, and my smaller business allows for a more intimate and personal experience for not only my clients, but my employees and everybody involved on the business side. And opportunities that will keep my business growing and steady are that new cake trends will always bring in new business. There will always be new ways of icing cakes and new styles of cakes and colors and cake glitter and things like that that will always bring in new business. Some weaknesses about my business are that there may be too much competition to thrive in such a small and local setting, and I am unfunded, meaning that I would have to rely on my clientele base and repeat customers to keep my business afloat. A threat to my business would be a general lack of demand for cakes. Sometimes trends can change and people aren't as interested in cakes as they are cupcakes and cake pops and macarons and other dessert items like that, so that could prevent my business from growing as well. Some behavior analysis on my part to keep my business successful are, first of all, things that I need to stop doing, including fearing failure. Sometimes I will be afraid of having a negative consequence for something that I do in my business, so I will let that fear hold me back from trying new things, which is not good. So an objective that I've made to stop fearing failure is to prepare for and anticipate that failure so I don't fear them as much and I'm more well prepared to handle them when they do happen. A behavior that I need to start in order to keep my business successful is to be comfortable advertising and networking locally and talking with strangers about my business. And an objective that I've created for that is to make business cards as conversation starters to promote my business. Um, whether that be me just dropping them off and leaving them when I drop off a cake with one client so they can spread the word on their own, or whether that's handing my business card to a stranger so they have a way to know about what I do. Things like that can help my business thrive. A behavior that I need to continue having in order to help my business be successful is the ability to work quickly and adapt to changes in the workplace. Uh, Sometimes when you're working on a cake, something goes wrong and you have to get creative very fast in order to find a solution to that problem because you have a deadline to meet. So it's very important to be able to adapt to changes and work with things not working. So these are some logos that I have created for my business. The first one is rather simple. It was the first concept I had, so it's not that great, but I just wanted to have the name of my business as well as a little slice of cake to show what I do, if that wasn't clear from the words. But I wanted it to specify that it is more of a traditional cake and not so much of the cupcake bakery kind of thing. The second version of my logo I think is more successful because it adds in a little bit of typography and more design, and it's more compacted. And it acts kind of as having the words "be a cake" on a little cake stand, so it kind of is self-explanatory there. The third and fourth versions of my logos I feel are more successful than the first two, mainly because they're contained within their own space and I can kind of slap it onto anything, with the circle design being a little bit more versatile. I find that the fourth version is a little bit more so the vibe that I want to give off with my business. Having it actually look like the top of a cake really helps too. And I think the colors are more bright and cheery rather than the third version. Some reflection and revisions that I need to work on for my business are to focus more on advertising and marketing. That's something that I've struggled with in the past when making cakes in the past 10 years. I haven't really ever made business cards or any way to market myself. Another thing that I need to focus on is staying on top of my competitors with new trends. As I mentioned before, it can be very hard to thrive in a local setting, so I need to make sure that my business stands out amongst my community. And something important for me to remember is to stay passionate and personable with my clients and make sure that I give them a pleasant experience so that they want to return. Some details that I can take to revise my business to are to receive feedback from my repeat clients to know what they want to see or things that they didn't like about my business so I can change to cater to my customers. I need to remember to offer those customers a custom and personal experience so that they leave with a positive thought in their mind when they think of my business. And I need to remember to focus on the details of my work and focus on the quality rather than the quantity of clients that I am working with, and to really focus on doing what I do well rather than trying to spread myself thin and expand my business past the local level. So thank you so much for your attention. I have been Laura Rogers for Cakes, where we do things for the love of cake, and I want to remind you to support local business and to enjoy the custom and unique experience you'll get with my business, and know that you will be leaving with the cake of your dreams.